Morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm on my way to work. Um, but look, I got some things on my mind, and one of them is the immigrant crisis that we're dealing with in the United States of America, here in this country. New York, Texas have been flooded with migrants, not immigrants, but migrants coming over and just crossing over the border. And this is the thing, if I knew, if I was a migrant, if I was literally overseas and I wanted a better way, a better life, and especially what I have experienced here, I would cross over too, daggone it, me and my children. Shoots. I would. Why not? It's the land of milk and honey. Like your dreams can come true. You can work, you can build, you can go. Um, so I have said this over and over again, but a lot of people don't want to hear that because some people are in their hearts, I don't know. But as long as, if folks are coming into this country and they're respecting our commandments, when I mean commandments, but they're respecting our Constitution. I don't see nothing wrong with. Well, I mean, it gotta be legal, of course. But I have said this before. If I was running for president, I would have been took over Mexico. I would have went right over there and told their president, whoever in charge, because you can't control your people from leaving you and coming over to my country. I want this country. I would have taken. The thing is like Mexico is literally at the bottom of the United States. It's literally like as if it's attached to the United States. I really feel like the reason why folks don't want to take on Mexico as a part of the United States of America is because Mexico, well, I think certain people are, I guess, racist is the best word. I know you're like, oh, I would go in there and gut it out. I'll put our laws down over there, just like you did to Hawaii. Puerto Rico, was it Puerto Rico too, or whatever? But you get what I'm saying? I would, and then that alleviates the issue. You have housing, you have rules, right? Court systems. People who commit crimes, lock them up. And if you said we dealing with the cartel, man, get the military in there. I'm serious. I would take Mexico over in a heartbeat. And then I'd be like, okay, everybody get registered. And then that means everybody that's up north can go all the way down south. And that would alleviate this whole crossing over. Be walking and walking through water with your children anymore because now you are a part of the United States of America. I just don't see it. Like, we spent billions of dollars going into other countries and setting up shop just for years later to leave it. I don't understand why we just don't take over Mexico. It's not that freaking hard. It's not. It's not. Everybody over there wants to be in American anyway. That's just It alleviates, families being split up. You know what I mean? It alleviates us having to build crazy things and all this other type of stuff. And don't get it twisted. There's other parts of the state that we have to secure. And yes, you know, even if it's not Mexico, we have to. Even if we did take over Mexico and Mexico became the United States of America, but I am so sure that the people of Mexico would be willing to go to bat for the United States. And I hate to say it, but we need the manpower. No, I'm not even hating to say it, but we definitely need the manpower. Our military is not what it used to be, so it'd be awesome to, have more forces, should I say. But I don't understand why we just never just say, you know what, we taking over. Y'all belong to us now. Like, y'all want to be citizens. Shoot, I think the people of Mexico will vote. Heck yeah, we want to be a part of the United States. I don't. It wouldn't even be like there would be no war. You know, of course you got to gather up all of the folks that's trying to mess up. Mess up the rules and regulations. But man, I would have been took that over. I don't understand people. Like, who's running? I don't know. I mean, I could imagine going up and be like, "Look, we've had this issue not for the last 4 years, not for the last 8 years, but this has been an ongoing issue for decades. And the issue is that the people of Mexico are crossing over to our borders to find a better way of living. Majority of the Americans aren't even from this land. And being as though that this country sits at the bottom of the United States, we have decided to make this country a part of the United States. It will no longer be separate. Families will no longer be separate. They will have the freedom just like every American citizen because now they are American. I would rebuild those cities, like really like the infrastructure. I would start having more, um, just more. What is that? I want more jobs. Just everything. It's like why even keep fighting this? And I'm trying to tell you, the only reason why I feel like they never even put it across their minds is because you got to have something against the people individually, because the people of Mexico that I have met are good folks, man. Good family. Their traditions, their values, the folks that come over here and want to work. Like, I seen more folks come over here and make their dreams come true versus folks that have been over here for a minute and want to sit on the side of the corner like rhinos and not do anything for their families. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting up here trying to say that all, Mexico, Mexicans or folks with that heritage are good, but majority of them are. And I think that we can all work together and we can all live in peace. And it's really hard. It's really heartbreaking when I hear people say, "Send those immigrants back," or like for instance, some folks found like 30 people living in a house, and they were all like, under these conditions, these 30 people were in this house. Man, it reminded me of like the Underground Railroad. Like these people are really trying to come over here and get freedom, things that a lot of Americans take for granted. A lot of Americans take for granted because it's just like, well, I'm here, I was born, and this is the way. But let a war break out, I'm not fighting no war. I feel like too, like it is what it is. Like we need to expand. We do. We got all of this land, and we ain't even working our own land. You got Bill Gates and crazy other folks buying up land, and they don't even want us to work the land. So the solution to this immigrant, um, to this illegal crossing over the border is to take over freaking Mexico. Man, sometimes I would really like to run for president. I really would. Cause y'all would hear a whole bunch, but then I'm like, man, the way y'all be suing the way y'all sue Trump so many daggone times, like our government is a hot daggone mess for real. But I would have been to go. That's the most smartest thing to do. Some of y'all like, oh well, oh, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Your wall is not working, okay? It's not, and let's be very honest. Let's be very, 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 very honest. In the last couple of decades, who has been really out here building stuff? You know, like people, good people to me, man. They smart, they're intelligent, family oriented. They're not coming over here blowing stuff up. Now I can't say that for other folks, you know, but they're not coming over here causing havoc. You know what I mean? Now, then don't get it twisted. There have been a handful of, um, you know, things going on, but compared to what's going on in the United States, especially within the black community, they want to call it the black community, especially black folks. I don't care what you want. Every black American just about know of a loved one that got popped, shot, and killed by a black person. So I don't even want to go there. That's a whole nother subject. But we should have been took over Mexico. We should have been took that spot over. We should have been set up. We should have been put our rules and regulations down. We should have been made them a part of the United States. They sit at the bottom of the United States. It's like right there in the corner, and you want to put a wall, and you guys can't come over. You know what that's all about because you really can't stand those people. Why? Because they don't like you. They don't look like you. And some of y'all like, well, all of the good jobs are going with Fuki, and they need to get their behinds up and start working. But there's so many jobs for all of us to have. It doesn't matter if you black, white, blue, green, yellow, pink. It's so many things for all of us to do. Every last one of us has a skill. And it don't matter where you came from. But if you're coming for freedom, if you're coming to better your family, I mean, those mothers crossing the river with their babies in hand, come on, man. I would do the same dag on thing. As a matter of fact, my people did it going from south to north. Some of y'all don't know y'all history. That's why when I see it really just turns my stomach. And some of y'all say, but we can't. It's been an issue, man. It's been an issue. It's been an issue. We're not about to sit up here and be shooting people because of freedom when half of y'all grandparents and great 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 grandparents ain't even from here. I know I got grandparents that's white. They not from here. Yeah, I got natives that's from this land. And I also got African black folks from Africa. They wasn't from here either, but I'm here. And so I can't sit up here and, like that's that attitude like you're beneath me, you migrant. You don't need to have four walls around you. It's just ridiculous, man. And y'all need to own up and face up to the facts. And some of these people too, you have no idea what these people are going through. You have no idea. Some people get over to this country and they work like hell. And the whole time when they get paid, they're paying somebody for their freedom. I'm not talking about paying. They're literally putting money in somebody else's pocket so they can stay in the United States. Man, we should have been took over Mexico. We should have been went down and been like, look at here. And I'm serious when I say this. We should have been took them over. We should have been said, guess what? We have a special announcement. The people of Mexico have always admired the United States of America. They have come over here. They have worked. They have always been our allies. Yeah, we deal with, the drug issue and all of that. But come on now, you already know who pulling the strings over here too. But that's just a small piece of it. But as the President of the United States of America, I've put an executive order that Mexico will no longer be a country in itself. Mexico will be a part of the United States of America. We will rebuild Mexico. We will teach the Mexico people that are now United States citizens, and the citizens of the United States will be able to freely travel to Mexico as a part of our state, as one of our states. I don't see what's wrong with that. Only a hater would be like, we don't want Mexico. We don't want those people to be a part of the United States of America. Only a hater would think like that. We've been in Iran, Iraq, all over the daggone world trying to take over stuff. We done left billions of dollars of freaking military equipment. You know what I'm saying? Overseas, and yet in our backyard where the fence is, we act like we just going to ignore the issue that's going on. I think the people have already spoken. How many more people need to die trying to get over here for freedom? And I know you're like, well, that's now, shut up. Shut up. Mexico is literally at the bottom of the United States of America. It's the South at the bottom. It's just that little chunk of land. Take it over and call it a day. Like, I'm just that would alleviate some of the issues that we're dealing with. And the American and Mexico folks need to learn our ways, man. Learn our rules, regulations, our laws. I'm trying to tell you, let a war kick off. Hopefully never. We need that manpower. We need that manpower, because I hate to say it. You know, some of the men in the United States ain't what they used to be. Nah, I don't even hate to say it. They just not what they used to be. They're not. But y'all don't even want to hear it, because some of y'all, like I said, some of y'all actually really racist in heart. Y'all just don't like the people. Some of the people that y'all, they don't look like you, so it disgusts you, and you feel like, what are you doing here? What are you? It's a bunch of hating. But let's be very honest. Like, I know me personally, I love my Mexican folks. Those are my people, man. Those are my people. They are wonderful, wonderful people. And we need to take over Mexico. We need to have them a part of the United States. We need to tear down that wall. We need to speak to their officials, and I will regut in a whole new infrastructure down there. Hey, and you won't need a passport to travel. All you need is your driver's license. I will clean up. But these are my thoughts. A lot of people not gonna wanna. They're like, well, it kind of takes. You have to go through certain things. Honestly, like I said, I really believe like the officials in Mexico and other places down there. I believe they would be so willing, so quickly, so fast to be like, absolutely, we would. It'd be our honor to be a part of the United States of America. Because it wouldn't be just them they're thinking about. They'd be thinking about their families. They'll be thinking about just our sovereignty, our liberty, our way of life. And I don't understand why we just can't extend it. We got to sit up here and put brick walls and stuff up over a little piece of land. I mean, when you look at it as a whole, like that is the United States. Like, stop playing these games. Like when you look at that land, the land, people don't want to hear that. Y'all just be like, I don't want to share nothing. Like as if you created something. You would create a daggone thing. I don't want to share no land. Like as if you work it. You don't even work the daggone land. Some people need to check their hearts for real. Check your heart, baby. Especially you believers out there. You Christian folks out there. Check your spirit now. You wouldn't think that heaven has only a certain type of people and not another type of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're all connected. So I personally, that this should have been an issue. I don't know what's like, where are the president's advisors at? I would have easily said, President, this is what I really believe. We need to just go ahead and take over. We don't even it wouldn't even be a war. Go over there and negotiate with them and let them know, look, we just want we want the country in it. We want them, to become citizens and abide by our laws. Who would get upset about that? I just want to know if the president announced, not Biden, Lord knows not him, but if the president announced today, let's say President Trump, that Mexico is now a part of the United States of America. Would your face be tighter than a fist? Would you be upset? Would you have the brows like, how dare he make Mexico a part of us? I want the truth. And some of y'all like, well, I had to do, yeah, 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 yeah. But now it's a new day shit. Excuse my mouth. Excuse my mouth. That's just like with the student loan thing. A lot of y'all that old student loans, y'all could care like, well, no, some of y'all still dealing with it. Some of y'all, you got mixed emotions with it. Some of y'all who still owe student loans, but maybe one of the folks that get the forgiveness, you good with that, right? But then you got the other person that's just like, hold up, hold up. If I got to pay on my student loan, I don't think it's fair that, if I got to pay on my student loan, I don't think it's fair that you don't have to pay on your student loan. You know, and then there's those too who feel like, I don't think if you're going to do student loan forgiveness, then I feel like for certain jobs you should not ask for them to have degrees. I really do feel like that. If you're going to do student loan forgiveness, then you should not at jobs, you should not say you have to have a degree in this, that, and the third. Because there were people who did not go to college because they just couldn't afford it and they didn't want to go in debt. And because of that, they didn't go to college to obtain that degree. But those who did go to college and obtain that degree, now you got student forgiveness, then that's no fairness. Now, is that? So then that means you should not be asking for folks to have certain degrees, period. So, and then one would look at that and be like, that's just so not fair, that's just so not fair. Like I said, I don't care. Like I would have been took over. I would have been took that country over. And I would have been like, Michael, not who's bad, who's mad. I don't care. I don't care. Because we dealing with too many issues, too many issues. And I'm trying to tell you, like, we could we could have, I'm talking about this land thriving. We had a manpower, the military power. Like, oh my gosh, like, yes, families. We got so much land that is just like there, there's no reason why we can't build on it. We got so many vacant homes. There's no reason why we can't have people moved in it. We have so many places and so many things, and the issues with the homeless. Homeless should never be homeless as long as we have wood, tents. You know what I mean? We could be a thriving country, but we have to literally think about the people of this country and even our neighbors. Gosh, that's a bumpy road. I'm trying to tell you, YouTube don't want me to talk to nobody about this because right now I have zero views, but I don't care. This is my thought process. You can't eventually is you're gonna have to come up with it is eventually you're gonna have to really make a decision. And I honestly think that the people of Mexico would be a great asset to America. I really do. I really believe that country, that land, and the people would be a huge asset to this country. Not a liability, but an asset. I really do. Like, I'm to the point where I'm just like, I hate when I hear people complaining. You have no idea. I have one friend, and her mom and her dad came to this country when she was a baby. This woman is in her 30s, in her late 30s. She never became a citizen. However, she's married to her husband who was born in this country, and his mother and father is not from the country. And I think it's something where if the mom or dad go to a different country, the baby's born, that baby would still belong to, I don't even know. But her children are born in this country. And I remember talking to her years ago, and it's like she was afraid to do anything, afraid to get a job, afraid to go out. And it really hurt me because I said that I was dealing with a lot of issues then, but none of those issues had anything to do with my freedom. None of them at all had anything to do with my freedom. And I really empathized with her. And I was just like, people really live like that. When you got folks coming around, like I said, they got pimps that oversee people's status, and they come around like, so how's everything going? And the worker working hard as I don't know what. You got my money, giving $600, $1,500 just to be in this country. Some of y'all have no idea what people are going through just to have a taste of freedom, things that we take for granted. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying that every country we ought to just open our doors, but Mexico should have been completely on that list to become a part of the United States of America. They should have. I do not understand why they never did that. I just don't. No, I understand why they did. Let me stop. I understand why they did. Sound like somebody was hating. I know you said, well, there's certain rules and let me say something. Back in the day, they didn't have these type of rules and regulations. You know what some of y'all great grandparents did? They caught a boat and sailed right into the dock of New York. That's what they did. They walked over. That's what they did. It's until day and now we got restrictions and stuff like that. I get it, but this has gotten out of hand. This has gotten just out of hand. Just let them in. Shoot, not even just let them in. Just take over the country. Trying to go to a trip. I'm trying to go on a trip to Mexico anyway, and it'd be awesome just not to have a passport. Use my driver's license. And some of y'all say, "Oh, you just trying to do it for." I don't understand why we just don't. Well, you don't know about the cartel and all that. Oh, I know it. They just as evil as some of the folks that's up here that did some cartel in this land that's doing 40 years in jail, and some of them even got away with it. Like I said, we need to take over the country. Just make the country a part of the United States. Then what can you say? And those of y'all that's crying and moaning, shut up. Because some of y'all and y'all folks not even doing nothing. You know what I mean? There are way there this land is big. There are other places. There are so many land. There's so much land in this country that hasn't even been built on. You get what I'm saying? And that's all I really have to say about that. Now the courts too in the United States, we need to re-gut the courts as well. Some of these judges has been sitting on the bench for 80 years. It's time to retire. I honestly think too that the terms for not the president, I think Biden has been in office way too long. Biden has been in office for a very long time. I feel like it's been light years since she's been. That is the most. If we did half of the stuff, can I just say something to? Can I just be very honest? If any one of us did half of the stuff Biden has done, like fall asleep at meetings, important conferences, mumble our words, we would have got fired. We would have been like, you're not fit for this job. I don't understand how, and people wonder why people don't care anymore. Look at our leadership. Our leadership has gone down. You know what I'm getting tired of too? I'm getting tired of the Senate coming together, talking smack, and y'all don't ever do nothing. Like Rand Paul, I see him up there and I like him because I remember Ron Paul, his father. But I see y'all up here questioning these folks who you knew about the scientists and what they were doing. So you want to mutilate kids? You want to do this and do that? Did the American people vote for that? They always ask these. It's like it's it's bluffing. Like if I'm going to be up there screaming at somebody and asking hardball questions, I'm gonna be like, I need y'all to lock them up now, not tomorrow, but now. Like I don't, y'all not doing anything. I think a lot of this stuff, let me calm down because when I talk about politics, I really get y'all not doing a daggone thing. Y'all just pointing the finger and you're yelling and everybody like, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm like, he didn't do anything though. Nobody got locked up. Nobody got fined. Nobody got tried because you know what it is? They want to see if the American people really going to do something. It's the difference between talking and walking. It's the actions are louder than words. You can sit up here and say, like what happened in Lahaina and Hawaii. You did this to us and we did. Okay, that's your words. But actions are louder than words. Because when your words are not being, you know how you get somebody warning and they still don't care, they still doing the same old thing. But when you put them handcuffs on them and lock them up, or you put your hands on them, see that's a whole different ball game. Then people know I'm not gonna do that no more. A lot of the stuff I'm seeing is I'm I'm starting to see that the evils that be want to see how far you're going to take it. Because if all you're going to do is just give words, like yesterday I was listening to some politician talk about New York migrant issue or illegal issue, and they were like, this is unacceptable. Somebody needs to do something. You're just shipping them all around. Somebody do something. This is not right. I'm pointing the finger at you. And I was like, here we go again. Another one of those. I'm not going to do nothing about it, but just talk on this mic and be loud and make the people feel like I'm on their side. And then, y'all, let me tell you something. Some of these top officials, they work together. They're in the back room having snacks and cheesecakes and wine and doing whatever they're doing, and then they go in front of y'all and put on this whole show, and then when it's all done, they go in the back and have a party like, how did I do? That was so funny. You was pointing the finger, talking about that I need to be locked up. You did good. I believed you. You know, it's all drama. The news is drama. That's why when you look at one news forecaster, all of them have the same script. That's why I be like, I don't want to listen to this stuff no more. I don't. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm really talking, I'm giving you, these are my thoughts. These are things that I think about, especially politics. Okay. And another thing, too, I look at, as an American, I've been noticing the media chooses certain Americans and ask them questions. Like they act like these people are random, but I'm like, these people got to be born out of a rock. They ask them, so well, how do you think the president's doing so far? Well, he's somewhat doing okay. And I'm like, have you seen your grocery bill, honey? Have you seen the gas prices? You still think you're doing good? See, if that was a regular job, somebody would have got fired. I don't understand why. I just don't understand why Biden is still the president. He don't even know he the president. Democrats are selfish as heck, and so are Republicans. But Democrats are so selfish that they would have a monkey, literally a monkey, run the United States of America because they know that it's not really the monkey that's running it. But what gets me is that you silly folks of this country. I'm trying not to say stupid and idiots and fools. I'm trying not to say that because saying that is just being rude and disrespectful. But I'm just trying to figure out, you don't see, you don't see that this president is doing a horrible, not bad, a horrible job. I don't think I've ever worked as hard under any president other than Biden. And for that, I already said years ago, after Obama last when he last ran for president, I knew that's it for me. I'm never going to be Democrat ever again. Democrats don't believe in God. They don't but they love killing babies. They don't believe in God. They will redefine you in a heartbeat, try to force a man. And I'm gonna tell you something about this mandate. Now all of a sudden, COVID is surfacing again, and everybody want to wear the diapers on their face. I'm not doing it. But I'm gonna tell you what Biden did. Remember that? Remember that stupid black woman he put in the high court? And I call her stupid because when they asked her, "What's a woman?" She's so stupid. She said, "I'm not a biologist." And I said, and this thing went to college. College is for I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Some of y'all know why you millions of dollars in debt trying to get a piece of paper to say you're smart. You're not. You don't even know what a woman is. I'm done. But remember, Biden pulled out his game card. It's like playing cards. He pulled her out to put her in the high office because what office struck down the right to mandate, enforce the jab? It was the high court. And Biden tried to go to OSHA to say, I want everybody to have the jab. And people, I was holding my breath. I ain't even going to lie. I was like, Father, this cannot be happening. And they want us to forget about that. You know what they want us to worry about? Aliens, other things. They want us to act like that never happened. We never force jabbed you. We didn't do that. They want us to forget about that. I remember. But remember, Biden we saw who he put in office. So let a mandate come back around when he's still in office. You know he's gonna use that thing to try to pass the law to give everybody these jabberoos. She ought to be ashamed of herself, man. And there's a higher power that you're going to. This dude is literally riding on some wheels and a wine cooler. Not a wine cooler. Yeah, he got a scooter and he's sitting on a what's that thing called? What are those things called? where you put cold beverages in a cooler. And he listening to his music just flying down the road. I still can't get over that guy with that one wheel. He was flying with that helmet on. I'm gonna see if I can get me one of those. I don't know where would I go with that though. Never mind. But anyway, going back to the Democrats, and they always want to use the black card. Black people, yeah, that's right, black people. Black lives matter. Yeah, say that to the black community where every time you turn around somebody getting popped, or when we drive past some type of area, you see bottles and teddy bears and stuff put out because somebody got popped and shot. Like let's speak facts, okay? Let's speak to the rap industry, the trap. Let's talk about the music that we putting out there that's promoting our youth to kill one another. But Black Lives Matter, but not these folks not sitting up here. Like even when I look at 50 Cent, I'm a businessman. But you still walking around with SWAT gear on, right? You G unit, and you got boys wanting to be like you. And a lot of folks died trying to be like you. Let's talk about that. Huh? Let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Let's see all of the the Jay-Z's of the world, the Little Waynes of the world that help push, this whole drug and our guys, our black youth getting locked up in pop, man. Everybody knows, especially within the black American, you either gonna get popped or you gonna get locked up. Y'all promoted that lifestyle, that hood life. Y'all didn't. Why you think they was trying to remove Bill Cosby? Did he promote that lifestyle? I know the Huxtables. You saw, you was like, dang man, these some predominant folks, and they black folks talking about higher education. They well dressed, well mannered. They had to take him out. They had to take him out. But look who they put in play. Look at all of the stuff that they push to make sure your children listen to. I've never, since when my daughter first started going to school back 3 years ago, one thing they kept pushing is monsters, 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 monsters. Monsters going to teach you how to learn. Monsters going to teach you how to do your ABCs. Monsters, monsters. And I'm like, well, damn. Why y'all gotta? My daughter knew nothing about monsters until she went to school. Am I wrong? She knew nothing about it until she went to school. Like I said, when I be looking at people, I'm like, y'all a joke. Look at your president. Look at your messenger. Look at your morals. You know what I mean? Your morals are shot and gone. So I don't vote Democrat and all. And now those who vote Democrat, instead of them saying, yeah, I messed up, I want my vote back late. None of that. It's just both parties. It is both parties. It is. It is. But some stuff you should have just knew not to vote for this dude for, because you knew that he was totally against your God. He mocked God. They moving the Ten Commandments. They putting Baphomets up there with breasts and children around some beastly creature. And then y'all like, I had to vote for him. Like, something's wrong with y'all moral compass. See, when you start putting people up in office, they don't give a dag on about life. They don't care about you. When you put people up in office, they can care less about chopping the baby up before they born. What you think? They're not gonna care about you. You talking about my life, my right. Boy, bye. You know what I mean? Like you voted for this mess. You voted for it. You got people in office, honey. It's all about the dollar. They can care less about your way, your truth, your freedom. They don't care how you live. They were promised that them and their folks was going to be in the mansion, and they was going to be eating good, and they was going to run it. They could care less about you, but you was the silly one to vote for them. Why you think everybody been trying to come over to this country? Because of the foundation that was set. Now they want to revise the Constitution. No, we are supposed to protect that Constitution at every cost. The right to bear arms was just not walking around with cute pistols on. But y'all, oh, we need to get rid of these guns. But then yet again, you go to certain neighborhoods, that's all they have is drive-bys and shootings. And I don't see nobody screaming Black Lives Matter over there. Baby jumping on her bed looking at ABTs and gets hit with a stray bullet. And she didn't get hit by the KKK with no white man that did it. It was Pookie and them on the block, listening to Lil Wayne and them. Oh, but I can't say that because it's too much for y'all to handle. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. Then when they say rumors of war and you may get dragged, the first ones, I ain't going to no war. Entitled. You know how many, you know how many 16, 17-year olds died so you can have the freedom you have, and some of y'all don't do a daggone thing but sit in front of your phone all day. And you vote for stupid people. Let me tell you that lady that sat there and when they asked her, even Kamala Harris, people thought, oh, because she's supposed to be mixed with black, that was supposed to make a difference. We could care less about that lady is gone. I honestly feel like with Kamala Harris, and this is just facts. I think she got in office because the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh or blood, but principalities, evil in high position. I think she got in office and saw some evil stuff, and her mind just cracked because when she talked, it don't make sense. She's not like that woman, that evil woman that she was some years ago. Even then, she had a sentence, but now it's just like she's gone. She saw something and she just like, she don't care. You expect somebody to vote. Let me tell you something. You expect a good life and you want change. You have to change the way you vote. Stop voting for ignorant people in office. Stop voting for people that don't care for you and your children. Stop being selfish. I'm just going to stick with some of y'all. Just stick with Democrat Party because when I was younger, when I first started voting, my very first time voting, I wanted to make a difference. It was crazy because I voted when Bush Jr. Well, I call him Bush Jr., but Bush's son was running. That was my very first time voting because I was of age to vote. And y'all ain't know nothing about politics. I thought I was voting for the other guy, but I ended up voting for Bush. I got the faces mixed up. I didn't know anything. And I remember my grandmother back then, she was like, I said, Nana, this is when they had the T-Mobile or cell phones with the little buttons. I was like, Nana, who do I vote for? You vote Democrat. You vote Democrat. 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 And I was like, okay, I'm gonna vote Democrat. I voted Democrat up until Barack Obama started acting crazy. His second term, I didn't vote for him. And my last couple of votes went to Trump. Some of y'all black folks be and I can say it because I'm black. Black folks be ashamed to say I voted Republican. They be looking over their shoulder and stuff. I remember I was in I was in the office, and somebody gonna say, I ain't gonna hold you though, because Trump was giving them Trump checks. I'm like, that's all y'all worried about? I don't care what anybody say. Everybody I know got a house when Trump was in office at a low interest rate. He was telling that dude, you better not raise that interest rate. They was bringing paperwork before him, wanting him to sign off, and he was like, man, go back and redo this. This has nothing to do with the American people. We was good. Now y'all crying the blues. Food prices are high. And I'm gonna say this for all of y'all idiots. Excuse me. Forgive me for calling you an idiot. I'm sorry for calling you an idiot. But for those of you who went out and voted Democrat and didn't even understand what you were voting for, take a bow. Because you did this. You did this. You helped these gas prices soar to the limits. You helped with all of this crazy stuff that's going on. You did that. Take a bow. That was your vote. You was just down for the cause and now you suffering. Take a bow. Why? I didn't know. You should have read. That's what you should have did. You should have studied your opponent. That's what the person that was running. You should have looked and saw what were their views. What do they think? You should have thought about your children before you went ahead and hit the button. Is this going to affect my children? No, you didn't think about that. You just, Black Lives Matter. You notice how when a Democrat's running, somebody always get popped, shot, and killed? Somebody always get popped, shot, and killed, and then they use it on these racist and they always do that. What are we gonna do? They're all racist. Then they want to teach you what your blackness means. These are the same people that don't know what a woman is. And I'm supposed to trust you. If you try to erase my very existence as a woman, then you really think my freedom really makes a difference to you? Do you really care how my life would thrive in the United States of America and what you're supposed to be representing? No. How did these people even get in office? Again, I couldn't just waltz up into some job and dress any old type of way and talk any old type of way. I couldn't fall asleep like Biden does all the time. I couldn't take secret documents and take it home with me and be like, oops, I forgot that in the garage. I couldn't do that. I would have gotten fired. But yeah, he is still the commander in chief. You know what? I'm honest, we'll just go ahead and run for president. Sit around eating Cheetos all day and watching movies and just doodling. Democrats, like I said, y'all selfish too. Why so, Mona? Because you know daggone well that man too old to be in anything. He shouldn't be in anything. Y'all so selfish. It's like I've used this analogy already. I use this example. It's like a 747. You really gonna have with all of y'all on the plane. We really gonna have Biden fly it? when I want you to really think about this. We are all on the plane. We're excited. We're going places. And we heard that there's a top official that's going to be flying this plane. If somebody said, Biden, your president, is going to be flying this plane along with Kamala Harris as the co pilot, I think everybody on that plane would just go, it'd be chaotic. I can just see it. People grabbing their bags, people rushing to try to get off the plane, people fighting the flight attendant, screaming at the airlines on the news. Like I can totally see everybody at a standstill listening to this flight attendant and and that's just make the flight attendant Fauci. I got a special announcement. And the minute you say Biden is flying this plane and Kamala Harris is going to be the co pilot of this plane and you're one of the passengers, y'all would be screaming to the top of your lungs, kicking and scratching to get off the plane. So, why the heck would you vote for this man in office? And for those of you who say, well, I would, yeah, you be on the plane. You be on the plane. Because I can guarantee you it's not going to make it. Like I said, you going to look up. You're supposed to be a passenger in air. And you look over and see Biden sleeping. And you like, isn't he supposed to be flying in the plane? This was a big disgrace in the history of our presidency. It really was. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my face. It just makes you wonder, like, people are like, if they're not following the rules, why should we? You know, I heard this before from the great John Paul Jackson. When a generation becomes very ignorant, they vote for the ignorant. And for those of you who's like, well, I'm not gonna vote anyway because my vote doesn't count, then sit to the side. Just sit to the side. And then your loving children that you love so much, when a day comes and they have to be drafted, you're gonna wish you would have voted. But anyway, I am not at all surprised at just how things are. I'm not even gonna worry about it because for the last couple of years since I've gotten into politics, which I want to get out of politics, but since I've gotten into politics, it's always been something crazy going on. But a house that is divided Get all this change, put it in my a house that is divided. It's just not gonna stand. It's not. Democrats and Republicans have to work together. But the thing about Democrats, man, they cross the line. They cross the line when you start messing with our children. You cross the line when you started to force jab us, to take on something because you say it ain't even a cure. You crossed the line when you did that. You see, that's fighting. Now you can't be trusted. Matter of fact, none of you in office can be trusted. Not even the news media can be trusted anymore. That's why people be sitting up here looking at Fox and all of that. I don't listen to them people no more. For what? Y'all not giving me good news. Y'all puppets. You crossed the line. So what do you think, Ramona? Like I said, some regular Joes need to run for office. That's another thing too. They try to make it be like you got to be a multimillionaire and you have to have all this type of money to run. You do have to have some money to run. But I know me, I'm a traditionalist, which means what I mean traditionalist is that I'm very conservative with my values. I believe that male and female should get married, period. There's no other sex in between. You do what you want to do, but just don't infringe your freedom on somebody else's. Okay? And that's it and that's all. I don't believe that kids should be put on hormone shots and hormone blockers because you say at 9 months this baby says it's a male and it's a female. Because in my mind I'm like, you evil son of a you know what, you really try to promote that to me. But see, a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with right now, a lot of hold on y'all, let me go ahead and grab this stuff real. Man, it's gonna be I wouldn't say it's gonna be a great day today. But yeah, so you see there's only one washing. You said there's only one. I'm glad you only one watching. Thing is, I'm not in it for the views. If I was in it for the views, y'all know how many folks I would have. I would have to be so phony and fake and not be able to tell folks what's on my mind. I would have to be so phony and so fake and, not tell folks what's really on my mind because I'm in it for the views. And when you're in it for the views, you just can't be real. See, when you're in it for the views, you got to be neutral to everything. You can't. You can't be truthful. And those type of people I don't trust because you're always trying to satisfy evil people instead of saying, no, you evil as hell and you need to be taken out. So trust and believe me, thanks for being the only person watching. Sometimes my view would say one person or two people or maybe seven or zero. I don't care. Because majority of the folks that sit up here and give you a feel good message or really don't speak the truth, a lot of these people are not telling you, they're not telling you the truth. And I could care less. I don't care. But evidently I still have to be a threat somewhere because YouTube still like to flag my channel. I'm like, for what? I only had two people looking. Right now I only got one person looking. What you flagging me for? You know, what you flagging me for, sir? And I said I had a dream about Trump that what they did to him was wrong. I'm trying to tell you, if y'all like y'all freedom, you better vote for him come 2024 because they are trying their best. They're trying their best to make sure this man don't run. And you know what? For y'all heavy hitter prayers, those of y'all who live a good life, meaning God listens to your prayers, because some of y'all evil as heck that God ain't even listening to y'all. Y'all need to start praying for the president. Because what he can do is get rid of those folks that keep trying to come after him. He can take them out. That's the God that we serve. He doesn't have to send snipers people away. He can take them out. They just won't wake up the next day. So y'all need to start praying because if you like your way, if you like your freedom, you better start praying. Start praying for your country, your neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Start praying for the person who's running to be the president of the United States. Yeah, but that's all I have to say about that, you guys. That's all I have to say about that. Let's take over Mexico and start voting for people that have good morals. Stop voting for people out of fear. Black people, black people. What have they done for the black people and the black people and the black community? And shut up. Shut up. I had somebody whine about going to, you go to a red state and you whining because they're not Democrats and they're removing studies of African American history. It should be called American history, not African American history. American. Because black people, my ancestors, they built this country. Okay? And I remember my grandfather saying to me years ago, because we had a debate at my old job where one of my co-workers was like, I'm not African, I'm an American. And I was like, well, we're African descent and this, that, and the third. And my grandfather broke it down and was like, Mona, I ain't never been to Africa. I don't have any people from Africa. And I was like, wow. To be honest with you, a lot of people, when they see African American people, they assume that our father, like my father, is from Africa. And when I told somebody, no, my father's not from Africa, my mother's not from Africa, my grandparents ain't from Africa, my great great grandparents ain't from Africa, none of them. Now don't get it twisted. We black, so somebody down the line came from Africa. My grandmother did a DNA test and found we were a part of Senegal. It was a Senegal and the Medinga tribe. And that's way, way, way down there. But when we go through our family tree, we can trace it all the way back to my great, 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 great grandfather who was white. Then I had a great, 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 great grandmother, two grandmothers to be exact, who were natives, like Indian. You know what I mean? So I got a mixture of everything. And if you took one white out of me, or one black out of me, or one native out of me, I wouldn't even be me. So some people be like, I can see it in the nose. You can see it in the nose, can't you? that's my my heritage, y'all. You can see it in my nose. You can see it in my nostrils. Yeah, I'm so early. That's that's a good thing. It's better to be early than late. But I say this in the nutshells because, you know, I know my history and I know what my people went through too. I know my great grandmother, she was born in slavery. I had grandmothers that were born on the slave block. And again, I had white ancestry too that were white, that weren't born as slaves. So the heck, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, times have changed. But I don't want to hear about this Black Lives Matter, and we can't seem to find out who killed, Kevin up the street, Sarah's boy. We can't seem to find out who killed him when all he was doing was taking out the trash. Young boy over in District Heights, Maryland, mowing the lawn. This baby only 13 years old, and some boys run up on him and shoot him in front of his own daddy house. We can't seem to find out who killed him. Oh, my sister's best friend, her daughter, 22 years old, lost her life and left a baby behind. We can't seem to find out who killed her. It's so many, especially Black Americans. It's too many of us that know somebody that got popped, and we going to these funerals, and then we sitting up here talking about they want to use Black Lives Matter, but you use the music industry, and I have to blame it on the music industry. I do. I have to blame, because a part of that the issue is because you promote violence so much. You promote on, I'm gonna get in here and I used to be in the music industry, so I know what it's all about. It's promoting death and killing. That's why most of the time when folks get shot up, it usually happens at nighttime. I went in a club couple of years, or maybe about a year and a half ago. Me and my friend, we walk up in there. The music, I was listening to the music, and I'm like, this is straight killing music. It's not even party like back in the day. It used to be like party music, but this is straight murder music. But you had these labels coming out, Murder Inc., Death Row, all of that. Like, y'all got to be held accountable for this, because Black Lives Matter. You got to be held accountable for that. Because in other people's races or whatever, they don't promote that type of music. And you see, music, I'm trying to tell you, music and the things that you look on social media, music, it influences a community as a whole. And if you have nothing but negativity that's being pushed, it's going to influence the youth. In the area. You see liquor stores, you see the same old stuff. Somebody, it's the same old thing, but they're being influenced. And until we talk, nobody wants to talk about that though. Nobody wants to talk about all of the killings. I mean, if we counted the homicides that have been committed in the United States, and we count the race that was behind it, especially in the Black community, you'll figure out really quick, why is it happening? Why are they being influenced by this type of violence? What's being pushed that are making people go out here and commit these crimes? What's changed? I know back in the day, at a certain time, you weren't even allowed to watch certain movies like rated R. If you was a kid, you couldn't watch any of that. Now it's all open. The internet is so wide open that our youth, we gotta literally cover their eyeballs. But when it comes to the music industry, I have found that the music industry had a great influence on a multitude of deaths that has happened in our communities, especially the Black community. And I know I ain't wrong. You listen to the lyrics, listen to how he talked about, you know, I'm y'all. I mentioned this before, but when DMX was alive back in the day, he put this song out, and I got a vivid imagination. He put this song out about shooting up an entire family at a family reunion. I'll never forget these words. It says, now, what type of get together? Yeah, when everyone get hit together. What? When everyone get hit together? You talked about shooting everybody up. When you had those folks, and they're still out there, literally talking about shooting and killing people, a lot of folks got popped because of that music. Because you influence somebody like, yeah, I'm going to go by and shoot up everybody. Like, you influence those folks to do it. And there's no accountability, and you wonder why the crime rate, especially in the Black community, has been like through the roof for years. For years. Who was it that just came out with a song? I think it was Cardi B husband or whatever the heck you want to call him. He came out with it. Is that the dude that came out with the video, and they pushing coke, and the women got on underwear, and they just pushing that coke in it. And I'm like, what type of evil? Like, and y'all doing it for, I guess, as a homage to Sugar Hill. Some of these youngins don't know jack about no daggone Sugar Hill movie. I know bits and pieces of it. I know After Seven they could sing on that. I like that track when they were singing, but I knew bits and pieces of that movie. You know, I know Wesley Snipes was in it. Wesley Snipes was in it, but you really did a music video that's going to influence a lot of younger folks looking up to you, and you pushing coke, you pushing drugs on the street. You trying to bring that era back of the 80s. 80s was horrible, man. I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the 90s. But back then, man, when people was doing that, man, people was getting popped left and right. I remember my mother, she went to the store, and it was us in the house, and literally right by the window, pop, 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 pop. Somebody was being shot out right in front of our window. And no, it wasn't some white guy shooting a black guy. It was some black guy shooting some black guy. We witnessed. We witnessed. It's not funny. Me and my sister witnessed this man getting his behind whooped. I'll never forget that. That was like, this man got his hind parts beat so bad that when the guy left, and after whipping him, me and my sister went over there, and we was brushing the guy off. Like, we felt bad for the guy. I witnessed those things in the late 80s, in the early 90s. And then you gonna sit up here and put a video where you pushing dope, and you got guns, and y'all got the big chains, and you got the crackheads on the street. Like, the crackheads, they destroyed their families in the communities, and y'all was pushing that in the music video. So our youth can look at you and say, I want to be just like him. The music industry is the number one cause of the deaths that the black community has literally felt. Biggie Smalls, Tupac. We always talk about, yeah, if they was alive, they both got popped, and they dead, and they gone. They both got popped. Tupac got popped. Nobody found their killer, and they're dead, and they're gone for what? And I'm sure if they were still alive, they would probably live a complete different life, because the music industry did nothing for them. They promoted death, and he died in death. I could tell that Biggie was more of a songwriter. He was more of a lyricist. I don't think he lived that life as the drug life as they portrayed him, because some people, when they write, they don't live about that life. But Tupac was straight living it, and he was pushing it so hard. But He was also an actor at the same time. He could have went farther, but see, the industry wanted you to push that drug life, that evil life, that killing life. And what happened? Both of them died in that life. It ain't never, I remember that I was in middle school. I was in the seventh grade when Tupac got shot. And I'll never forget, I was looking at the TV, them old box TVs back in the day at my grandmother's house. Tupac got shot. And I was like, and this is what I said out of my mouth. If he went so bad, that's what he get, because at that time, that was not the first time I heard that Tupac got shot. But then this time he got shot, and when he died, we were all in shock. Like all of the kids was walking to school. We were all feeling it because Tupac, he got shot, he got killed, he got, we were too young to even know about any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But the music industry did that. Snoop Dogg, you are the reason in the gateway of weed, and you're going to be held accountable. God is going to hold you accountable. You put this, I smoke weed all day, and you're basically like the poster, the pinup for smoking marijuana and weed. You push that to the community too. Like 50 Cent, you promoted when you first came out. I got shot. But you promoted like it was so cool to get shot up. Not everybody lived and was able to say, I got shot, but glory to God, I'm still here. You promoted that mess. Because Biggie Smalls was like, do or die. Tupac did the giant, I ain't mad at you, when talking about when he did and he was talking to someone. I remember he did the video, and then 50 Cent tried to come out with something. The reason why you got on, because you went on Jay-Z. And you went on Ja Rule. You was like a big bully back then. You promoted bulliness. And everybody was like, oh, this is hot, man. You see how you went in on them? Like that was the way that we supposed to give each other love, by putting each other down. Get out of here. That's why I don't listen to that type of music no more. I don't. I'm not going to none of the concerts, none of that. They unit dudes got gray heads and stuff. Y'all old as I don't know what grandfathers out there. Get out of here, man. You know how many folks really died because of your music, and your influence to us. Yeah, we was in the club dancing and doing whatever, but a lot of people didn't make it because of your music. A lot of people ended up getting on bigger drugs because it was a gateway from marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Somebody smoked the wrong thing that was laced, and next thing that was it, and that was all. So I say this in a nutshell is like, you need to understand what's going to be good for your community, and what's going to be a threat. And a lot of folks didn't make it. A lot of folks didn't make it. A lot of your influence, you don't even realize that it's not people that's just showing up to your concert. It's people that's influenced by your lyrics and your words. You know what I mean? They had them walking a certain way, talking a certain way, and acting a certain way, listening to your music in their ear, and subconsciously you making it sound like a hot 16, and subconsciously they listening to it, and when they don't went around the way, end up popping up the whole block because they listen to your music. And until we hold the industry accountable, and some people say, well, you can't, no, that's look at the death toll. Let's look at the body count. Especially, I have to talk about the black community. Let's look at the death toll and the body count, and how many folks got popped listening to your music. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I think I touched on everything. Be careful who you vote for, who you listen to. And check your spirit too. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Let me get on up in here and to work. Y'all have a blessed day today.